For all the members of the committee, I know we're all passionate about the issues that we handle in this committee. And Dr. Frieden, you've been especially responsive to me personally on Ebola issues. Atlanta's not too far from my home city now of Chattanooga, about 130 miles down the road. But thank you for always being so responsive, and I want to thank you for your mission at the CDC. I do have a couple of questions. Dr. Frieden, the past year has been a challenge for the CDC as far as laboratory safety is concerned. It was rather unprecedented based on our knowledge, with 3 laboratory events related to potential exposure of anthrax, Ebola, and H5N1 bird flu virus. Fortunately, no one was harmed by these events. After the after-action reports from the June event through the December event seemed to have similar findings related to inadequate safeguards, use of approved techniques or unapproved techniques, and lack of standard operating procedures or processes. I know you take these issues as seriously as we do. Can you give us an update on the status of your corrective action plan? Specifically, do standard operating procedures now exist for all the laboratory functions? What percentage of the staff have received follow-on training? And how are you implementing a process to monitor the procedures and processes being followed, sir?
Thank you very much. Our guiding principles for our laboratory work are to ensure the safety of our staff and the community and be as transparent as possible about our work as we conduct some of the highest quality scientific work around. CDC has more than 150 different laboratories. We have more than 2,000 laboratory scientists and professionals who work in our laboratories, and the incidents of the past year emphasize to us the need to make sure that the safety measures are applied consistently across all of our laboratories. We've taken a series of steps to do that. I'm encouraged by the progress we've made. We have implemented the great majority of the recommendations that have been made. Perhaps the most important is the appointment of an associate director for laboratory science and safety, reporting directly to me. I'm delighted to say that this week and next I'll be interviewing the finalists for that candidate, and we have stellar candidates for it from both inside and outside of CDC who are world-class scientists, and I'm looking forward to that because that's a very key position to upgrade the level of the laboratory work within CDC. We've also required that only validated methods be used to inactivate all pathogens. That has been done in all of our laboratories. We've required verification of sterility of any laboratories sent out of CDC, and that is currently in place. We've had extensive involvement in training of laboratory scientists to improve procedures continuously. This is not a one-time thing, it's an ongoing effort, and we want to encourage reporting. So some of the incidents we hear about may be things that we're encouraged that people are reporting about for the first time, perhaps. We've created an external advisory group, and I met with them, I spoke with them several times, and my charge to them was very clear. We wanted a no-holds-barred report. Tell us everything that we need to fix. Frankly, they've done that, and we're well on the way to having addressed most of those issues. We've also begun a program that we're quite proud of to train tomorrow's leaders in laboratory science and safety. For decades, CDC has had something called the Epidemic Intelligence Service. We've now created the Laboratory Leadership Service based on the pattern of the Epidemic Intelligence Service that will, we hope, create tomorrow's leaders in laboratory science and safety. We have, in this budget, requested some funds to implement the things that we haven't fully implemented. One is a training facility to do hands-on training without any dangerous pathogens present. The laboratory space is expensive, so building that would cost some money, and to upgrade some of our information systems and some of our regulatory oversight systems for other laboratories so we can do more frequent and more intensive inspections. We also have required secondary verification for all materials being sent out of any of our high containment laboratories, and we've encouraged reporting and prompt response to any incident.
Thank you, and we wish you every success in these endeavors. One follow-up question. Dr. Frieden, can you please speak for a moment as to why we may be seeing a continuation of the rates of ADHD expand exponentially? Is this from better identification, or is there a real ADHD problem in the United States? What is the CDC doing to help, and what promising strategies does the CDC recommend to states or nationally to help correctly diagnose, treat, and follow up with children and families who are impacted by ADHD?
we are seeing a big increase in the number of children treated for ADHD. We know that for some of those children, that treatment is effective and important. One of the things that we've been quite concerned about is the use of ADHD medications for young children in whom the FDA has not approved medications for use. And for many of the younger children, some of behavioral interventions and counseling and working with families may be both safer and more effective. We've begun working with some states and some state Medicaid programs to identify ways to perhaps encourage clinicians to start with what may be safer and approved means of treating young children. That early treatment of ADHD is one of the areas where we hope to expand effective programming in the coming year.
Good. Thank you. Thank you all. And Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you very much. If I may, Dr. Frieden, let me take you to another area that got some interest in, and that's the strategic